First, I want to give a big thank you to EA for giving me access to this game code so I can share this with the community.
If you didn't hear the news, we had two kits come out on Thursday, January 18th. One was the Castle Estate kit, which was a build kit, and one was the Goth Galore kit, which was a cast kit. So I just wanted to hop in real quick to show you guys some of the stuff that we got from the Castle Estate kit. I really like some of the stuff in here. I checked out the full pack for the first time on my stream today, but I want to make a video for all of you to see. I really do like some of this stuff, but see for yourself. This lot has every single thing from the Castle Estate kit. There's two sides to it because there is surprisingly so many swatches for everything. There was a lot in this kit, a lot more than it looked like, just because so many of the swatches are so like different. They vary so much from each other and it makes me really excited. And I'm not gonna say they all are very, very unique. There are some that definitely look very similar to others, but overall I'm pretty pleased with this pack. Let me know what you guys think, but let's get into it. First off, starting with our new wall paint, there's a lot of really nice textures in here. I do have some favorites, which I'll point out to you. One for sure is this one. It has like these little flower patterns in it, and I think it is very, very cute. It's kind of like a mossy stone looking one. I can definitely see myself also using this white one and maybe this gray one on the end, or like in a basement maybe, or just stone on the front of the building. There's a lot of uniqueness to each of these. I like that some of them are very clean looking and then some of them kind of have like a dirtier texture like these ones. They have a bit like a weathered pattern on them, which I think adds a lot into the depth of your build. It makes it look like so much more realistic, so much more detailed. Next up is the fences. This is one of the fence types. This is all the swatches for this one. I do like this one. It does have that mossy pattern again on this one that you see here, which makes me really, really excited. You'll see later though why I'm a little disappointed with the mossy texture. I'll get into that in a bit. However, I do like a lot of these. Some of the colors, like this orangey one, I don't see myself using all that much, but this white one I can definitely see myself using like as a backyard fence, maybe around a little pool area. When you see this, how it actually is set up, like if I were to take this and drag it out, it has these bumps here, which is what we see on the cover of the pack. You can see what goes around the top of like the towers and the top of the castle, but I could still see myself using that like even as a fence on the ground. Moving on to our next set of fences, I do really like these ones. I think they have just a very pretty pattern to them. I like this kind of detail that they have in the middle where it has like this circular pattern in the middle almost. I really like it. I think it goes really well in a nice like Victorian just house. I could also see myself using this just in general. It would look good with a lot of houses. Next up on our list is the columns. My columns look a little stretched out because I have my wall height all the way up so that I could fit everything else I need to show you in these, but I do like this a lot. Columns do not have a mossy swatch. This like basic first swatch is the same color as that mossy colored one. However, it just doesn't have the moss on it. It's like the clean version of it. So it works. You can use the columns like this. I just would have liked to seen one column that had maybe like a little moss growing around the bottom, maybe some flowers hanging on it. Obviously, it would just be like printed on. It's not going to be 3D. I still would have loved it. Same thing with the fences. There is no mossy one. I think it would have been really cute for one of the fences to have some moss on them. And then we have our flooring swatches. So we only got one type of flooring because keep in mind, kits are limited to only a certain amount of items, but they really packed this full of different swatches for each individual item. So these are our floor types. Now I'm really liking these gray and black ones that you see here. I definitely could see myself even using these like in a bathroom, specifically the black one. I really like to do dark bathrooms with like black and like charcoal colored tiles. And I think this one is kind of what I've been looking for a long time. I think this orangey brown one here would look really nice for a patio. I also think this white and gray one here to the left could also work really well in a patio, as well as in a bathroom. Specifically the white one I think would look nice in a bathroom. I think the gray adds a little more detail. And then we also have the mossy tile. I'm obsessed with it. I'm gonna use this for every single pathway for the rest of my life. The little flowers, the little leaves popping through. And this is another tile here. This like off-white one here I think would look really good in a bathroom as well, so I'm excited about that. And then we also have the basic swatch that is just like the default color for this tile. I could see myself using this in a kitchen. It's giving like 2000s Americans doing Mediterranean style houses. This is the tile that's in the kitchen. These are the staircases and railings that we got with the new pack. I actually quite like these, but again, you may notice once again, we do not have a mossy texture for this one, which is okay, because realistically, if you wanted the mossy texture, this is what matches that mossy swatch. So you could just take this one, and then if you're using that, grab your mossy swatch and use it on the bottom part, and no one can tell. You know, but I think it would have been cute if there was like a little bit of moss growing on here, maybe some flowers poking out between the stairs and moss and stuff like that. I think would have looked cute, but I'm not gonna complain. I'm very happy with these stairs. I also think even if you use them without the railings, a lot of these are pretty good just to use in any kind of build, not specifically a castle build, which is what I'm really happy with this kit, is that there are so many things that don't feel restricted to this medieval castle estate vibe. There's a lot of these that could be used even in modern builds, and I'm very happy with that. This way we're not stuck with this pack where maybe we don't feel like building a castle and then it just never gets used again if we're never in the mood to build a castle again. Moving on to windows, and oh boy, are there a lot of windows in this pack. So these are the first like keyhole kind of ones that we see, and I really like this. I really like this style of window. It's very, very, very like key to building a castle, I feel like, is having this little like peak window. I do like the stained glass textures on these. However, you're gonna see with the other windows that we got, the stained glass isn't nearly as appealing. The yellow is the other stained glass swatch, and I do like this one as well. I can also really see myself using just about all of these swatches here. I do like it a lot. Now for our next set of windows, you might see what I mean here when I say I don't like the stained glass swatch. So this is what the blue stained glass swatch looks like for the bigger windows. I'm really not a fan of the knight's helmet in the middle. If it were to be a rose or something, I don't like it. Even for a castle build, I don't like the idea of just having a knight's helmet in the middle of the window. They could have even just kept it as plain blue stained glass and I would have been happy. No one said it needed to have any kind of iconography on it. So I think personally, I'll stay away from this swatch, but you do you. And same thing with the yellow swatch. I'm not sure why they did that, but I do like these windows. I won't lie to you. I do like a lot of these, and again, I can see myself using these not just in castle builds, but throughout a bunch of different style of builds as well. Then we move on to our next style window, which I also like this one, however, not the stained glass ones. I do like that they tried to like change it up a little bit, get a little fancy, and instead of it all being like the knight's helmet in this, there's like a little shield, crest, whatever you want to call it. Same for the yellow swatch like that. It also does the same exact thing, which I think is nice that they changed it up a little bit. And I mean, if you're far away, maybe it's not so noticeable and the window does look pretty. These are our next set of windows. Again, really liking them. I do really like this little like pattern that they have here on the top. This is the next set of windows that we got in the Castle Estate kit. I do really like that even though the windows are all kind of the same exact thing, we just got them in different sizes. There's like a little bit, I don't know what it is, that just makes it look so much different, like more unique. Like these are the same thing practically, these windows right next to each other, but I feel like they just both add something totally different. On to our next set of windows. I'm also absolutely loving these ones. These are so beautiful. They're really giving chapel vibes, but I'm kind of here for it in a way. The stained glass here, I will say, I do really like the kind of pattern that is up at the top with the stained glass. All of them have that little pattern. It kind of looks like a flower up there. However, I do think the stained glass one looks really good with that. It's really pretty looking with the yellow stained glass. It's just until you get to this part where it's not so pretty. Same with the blue. It looks really nice in the blue until you get down here, and then I have some questions. And what do you know, we have even more windows. These are kind of like the taller version of the last ones I showed you. Also really loving this brown one. It looks like wood because of the color. It's stone. It's stone. And these are the other swatches that we have. I'm loving the black one. I could definitely see that being used. This white one, I'm tempted to use in like a wedding venue build just because I think it looks stunning. Again, chapel vibes, but I do love it. Moving on to doors, pleasantly surprised with these. I'm also really liking this swatch here. Think with it up against the wooden door, it really brings it out a lot, which makes me think if you use that swatch as like the outside of your house and maybe add some like wooden columns that are a similar shade to this wood, it might look really nice and might add a whole lot more depth to the build than just doing the basic stone swatch that we have on the wall. I will say I am not so big of a fan of the white swatch of this. I don't like the wood tone. I feel like maybe a darker wood tone would have been better, but I also personally just like darker wood tones in general. I'm not so much of a light wood fan. Maybe that's just me. Our next doors are these absolutely massive works of art. I love them, and they have like this cute little crest above the door, which I think is like such a nice little touch. Pretty happy with this. I think it's a nice bit of detail that they've added in that I think looks very nice. Next door's also a fan. I can definitely say this is the kind of thing that will be stuck in the Castle Estate pack. I don't see a way to use it in like a different kind of build, but that's okay. Some things should be just Castle Estate. So I'm not complaining about that at all. These are our next doors, also big fan. I like these quite a bit too. I think a lot of these swatches are really good. Again, not so big of a fan of that white swatch with the light brown door. And again, I really like the little like engraving work that is up here. I think it looks really nice. Our next one, it's an archway. I really like this. She's beautiful, she's stunning, she is the moment. I'm so gonna use this so much. You're gonna see this in every single one of my builds from now on. I know it's just like the exact same pattern as the other doors, just without a door on it. I don't even care. It's such a difference. Next up is the friezes. Again, I'm liking these. It's very simplistic, just a little stone. I love that they have the moss swatch for this one. Really love that swatch. I know I've said it a million times. These are the new foundations we got. I do really like these. I could see myself using this a lot, especially the black. I love dark builds, so I will most likely be using that black foundation. Now on to exterior trims. I want you to pay close attention. Pretty, nice. What's going on here? Okay, I'm liking it. I love it. Did you see it? Did you see it? Where's the one that matches the moss? Where is it? Why didn't we get a mossy exterior trim? Why not? Why not? I needed it. It's not the end of the world as much as I would like to make it seem like it. We have one that matches every single other swatch for the foundations and the friezes, but we do not have the exterior trim matching the friezes and the foundation just for the mossy swatch. Did they get tired of making it? I need to know. Next up, we have like this little army of llama wall decorations. They're called the eavesdropping llama. So it's supposed to be like the thing from Vampires, which I have right here, which is like a little gargoyle kind of vampire looking thing. But we have some different textures of this. So maybe you could see it a little easier. Yeah. So like the same color, which is nice because typically we don't get things that are like almost the same color across packs. As you know, The Sims does not like to color coordinate like at all. The next thing we got were these other wall decorations, also with like a little like crest on it. I like the black one a lot, I'm gonna be honest with you. I do like these ones with like the shield much better than I like the ones that have like the knight's helmet on it. All these items are actually in your buy mode, not in the build mode. They are not classed as wall decorations when you're building the house. They're classed as like the wall sculptures section. So rather than clicking here, which is where we find the one for vampires, is what I find odd. So the vampires one is here in this little wall sculptures area, which is also weird because we also have these things, which is fairly similar to these. They're not in the same area. To find these ones, you go to objects by room, and then you can go to like the outdoors area and then here and find them, or you can go to objects by function, and they're going to be under decorations and then wall decorations here. Next up is our spandrels, which I'm also really liking. I can definitely see myself using that white one. We got the mossy texture for this, which makes me happy. It just confuses me even more why we didn't get matching columns. And that is everything we got in the Castle Estate kit. There are some things that I definitely would have liked to seen, for example, more moss swatches, but something that I really wanted was some spires. If you don't know what a spire is, it's this kind of thing, these big pointy things that would go on top of like really tall roofs. You would typically see them on like castles. For example, like what I think of immediately is Rapunzel's tower in Tangled has spires on the top. We have a couple different types. I don't have every single pack, so I'm sure there's more in other packs, but this is the ones I do have. There's different swatches for all of these that are also pretty nice. This gold one is actually from Get Famous. This black one that I have here is from Vampires, and this one here is actually from For Rent. I was really expecting with a castle kit we would have gotten some more spires, vampires, even just some more like roof decorations in general. Like we have some roof decorations here, like we have these and things like that. I think some of these would have been really interesting to have, and a lot from vampires with like gargoyles and stuff like that. Let me know what you guys think. If there's anything that we did not get in this kit that you were kind of hoping for, please let me know. I'd be very interested to hear. I am going to spend the next 453 hours of my life trying to build a castle and having a mental breakdown over it. I will see you soon.